Good evening and good Shabbos. Bacha, would you close the door, please? It is so wonderful to be with you here this evening. I have my eyes on this section, not because of my two children in the back, but because of these 6 people right here sitting next to each other. That's the capital T trouble area. So if I'm looking over there a lot, you'll know why. Your children are in the back, honey. Because people put my children in the back. Well, you're people, aren't you? So we're going to start our service like we always do. We're going to go around the room, and if there's something wonderful that you would like to share with us, something good that happened in your life between last Shabbat and this Shabbat, I'm going to start because I don't want someone else to say this one. But USA won have automatically gone to the next stage of the World Cup because they beat the Aussies today 2-0. So, and if Paraguay ties or beats Turkey, then we will win our group. So, if you aren't aware, in 2022, the country of Turkey applied to the UN nation to have the United Nations to have their name officially changed to Turkey. So if you see Turkiye, it's no longer Turkey, it's Turkey. I didn't believe that until I listened to the announcers today. And then I looked it up because I wanted to make sure. And it's true. So if you say Turkey, you're talking about things you eat on Thanksgiving. Susan, would you like to do the honors, please? If you have something you'd like to share with our congregation, please raise your hand.
I was up in Bar Harbor, Maine last week, gave a talk, and people actually listened and thought that I knew what I was talking about.
You went to Bar Harbor?
Yeah, I have, yes.
Bar Harbor.
That's all.
Anyone else over here? Yeah.
For the last couple of weekends, I was fortunate enough to be able to fly up to Connecticut to participate in a college graduation event, and last week a high school graduation event for children that Libby and I helped raise in the neighborhood over the years. So it was nice to be home for a couple weekends, and I'm looking forward to going back the end of the month for a month. But thank God. Guilford, Connecticut.
A second, Addie. It's wonderful that you made this connection. Let's save it for the Onyx so other people have a chance to share their things with us.
Well, I graduated with my associates in math, so that's fun. And I'll be moving to Georgia in August as a junior at Oglethorpe University for my international politics and biopsychology degree.
Anyone else? No, the rule is you can't touch the microphone. Oh. That way if you talk too long, I can walk away.
So my name is Wayne Ellis. My wife Tamara here.
Okay, go ahead.
We just joined the synagogue, and on July 3rd, we will be celebrating our 38th wedding anniversary.
Wow, on 38th Street. Happy anniversary early.
I'd like to thank all of you for your prayers. I've been fighting stage 4 cancer, and the doctor told me I didn't have to have chemo anymore right now. So hopefully I get to ring that gold bell at the hospital.
That is, no offense to everybody else, but that is the best news we've heard today.
Anyone else over here?
With continued healing.
I've known my brother-in-law, Cantor Tom Schwartz, since I was 13. Tomorrow, and he's a Holocaust survivor, tomorrow he celebrates his 90th birthday in Toronto. Happy birthday, Tommy. I love you.
Okay, that was also pretty awesome news. Happy birthday. And he's been watching our congregation for a long time now, so what maybe one day we'll get you out of the Great White North and bring you back down to here to Florida. Maybe. Any other? Okay. In that case, we will begin our service on page 2, and I'd like to invite Rita Hoffman up to light our Shabbos candles.
As these candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light.
Pesky wind. Oh, I thought you had it. Would you like some assistance? It's the old-fashioned way. They're not tricks, I promise. There we go.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivan hadu mi'ashel Shabbat. Amen.
Shabbat Shalom, Rita. My son asked, why don't we always use the matches? And I'd like to remind my son, you're too young to be forgetting things, but about a year and a half ago, someone said that the matches weren't working because of the air conditioning, so we had 3 different people, including Joe Swit, bring us 3 different lighters that none of them have seemed to have worked. So eventually we'll figure out how to make it work, whether it's matches or lighter or whatever. We continue with the Kiddush on page 5. Please rise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddishanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho Bi'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit ki hu yom techila lemikra'e kodesh zecher letziyat mitzrayim kivanu v'acharta Ve'otanu kidashta michol hamim Ve'shabbat kodshecha Be'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai Mikadesh HaShabbat L'chaim. Please be seated. We continue with the singing of Ma Yafeh Hayom, which is on page 10.
Shabbat Shalom, Ma'yaveh Hayom. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Ma'yafeh Hayom, Shabbat Shalom, Shalom, Ma'yafeh Hayom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom.
The people of Texas are informed that in accordance with the proclamation from the Executive of the United States, all slaves are free. This involves an absolute equality of personal rights and rights of property between former masters and slaves, and the connection heretofore existing between them becomes that between employer and hired labor. The freedmen are advised to remain quietly at their present homes and work for wages. They are informed that they will not be allowed to collect at military posts and that they will not be supported in idleness either there or elsewhere. General Orders Number 3, Headquarters, the District of Texas, Galveston, June 19th, 1865. Today is June 19th, 2026. As part of our service, we will be celebrating Juneteenth, June 19th, 1865, a day that commemorates and celebrates the final emancipation of slaves in the United States, taking place in Galveston, Texas. Tonight's service will focus on the voices of slavery from the African American history as well as from Jewish history, as our community also has a history of pain and struggle. The intention is to celebrate freedom while recognizing we have a long road still ahead of us in this struggle for justice for all people. We continue on page 24 with the singing of Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Asharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malchei Amlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom. Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedkem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
We turn in our prayer books now to page 26 and invite you to please rise for the Chatzi Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash Shmei Rabbah v'yamal divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei b'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael Ba'agala, Ba'agala, Uvizman Kariv, V'imeru, Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabba Mivorach, Le'olam Olal Me'omaya, Yitbarach, Yitbarach, V'yishtabach, V'yitba'ar, v'yitramam, v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar, v'yitaleh, v'yitalal, Shemei Dekudasha Brichu, Le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata, Tush bechata v'nechemata, Damiran be'alma, V'imeru, Amen. After surviving Theresienstadt concentration camp, Alice Hertz Sommer lived for 40 years in Israel before migrating to London. At the time of her death, when she was 110, she was the world's oldest known Holocaust survivor. She was a fantastically talented pianist and music teacher. Regarding her time at Theresienstadt, she said, "Music was our way of remembering our inner selves, our values. Music was our food. When we can play, it can't be so terrible. The music, the music. If you are a dreamer, come in. If you are a dreamer, a wisher, a liar, a hoper, a prayer, a magic bean buyer. If you're a pretender, come sit by my fire, for we have some flax golden tales to spin. Come in, come in." Let us continue with our call to worship on page 28. Baruch Hu.
La
be seated. We continue with Ma'ariv Aravim on page 30 or on the screen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidvaro Ma'ariv Aravim b'chokhmah poter she'arim uvidvuna mishanei itim umachalif et hazmanim umsader et hakochavim b'mishmerotehem barakia kirtzono Borei yom v'layla golel or mipnei choshech v'choshech mipnei or Uma'avir yom umevi layla umavdil bein yom uvein layla Adonai tzivaot shemo El chai v'kayam tamid yimloch aleinu leolam va'ed Baruch atah Adonai Hama'ariv Aravim. We continue on page 32 with the singing of Ahavat Olam.
Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha ahavta, Torah u'mitzvot, Chukim u'mishpatim, Otanu limadeto. Al ken Adonai Eloheinu, B'shokbenu u'v'kumeinu, Nasiach b'chukecha, V'nismach b'divrei Toratecha, u'v'mitzvotecha, le'olam va'ed. Ki hem chayenu ve'orech yameinu, uvehem neged yomam ve'layla.
Baruch atah Adonai Ohev Amo Yisrael. For the very first time in my entire life, as a half-black, half-white member of the Jewish community, I have begun owning my identities. Listen, hear, understand. God is our protection. We are God's people. We are not the first, but we were the first to recognize God's oneness. Abraham understood, Abraham heard, Abraham listened. We connect ourselves to God in different ways and for different reasons. God is our help, but God needs us too. The children teach us to hear while we teach the children to listen. God is one, God is ours, God is here. Anger, fear, frustration, confusion, gratefulness, courage, satisfaction, knowing, disenchantment, hindrance, burden, hurdle, inspiration. Yes, inspiration. God is our inspiration in bad times and in great times. Let us be reminded of God as we sing the most important words, the most inspirational words. Shema on page 34. Please rise.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod, Shem Kevod, Malechuto, Leolam, Leolam Vaed.
Please
And
be seated.
you shall love Adonai, your God, with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. And these words shall be in your heart, shall be in your heart, and you shall teach them diligently unto your children, and you shall speak of them when you sit in your house, when you walk by the way, and when you lie down, and when you rise up, and when you rise up, and you shall bind them for a sign upon your hand, and they shall be for frontlets between your eyes, and you shall write them on the doorpost of your house, and upon your gates, and upon your gates, that you may remember and do all of my commandments, and be holy unto your God, unto your God, unto your God.
We read in the Haggadah that in every generation we are commanded to see ourselves as one leaving Egypt. This is because slavery wears a different cloak in different generations, and we have to see ourselves, see it for ourselves, and understand it in order to help those who are currently stuck in its grasp. We continue with a new, well, at least new to me, Micha Mocha. Have we done it before?
I think you've heard.
Oh, we've done it before, yes, but
done it many
I never had to get the words for it. That was new to me. So please enjoy. Micha Mocha, it's on the screen.
Micha mocha ba'elim Adonai, Micha mocha nedar ba'kodesh, Nora tehilot, Osef eleh. Micha mocha ba'elim Adonai, Micha mocha nedar ba'kodesh, Nora tehilot, Osef eleh. And the river is wide, the river is wide, and the river is deep, the river is deep, and the river is standing between you and me, and freedom, freedom, and we shall overcome one day. Micha mocha ba'elim Adonai, Micha mocha nedar ba'kodesh, Nora tehilot, Osef eleh. And the river is filled, the river is filled, and the river is hid, the river is hid, and the river is standing between us and the gates of freedom, freedom, and we shall overcome one day. Micha mocha ba'elim Adonai, Micha
always found comfort in the "and" of my identity. That simple part of speech that joins together two disparate things, two families, two histories, two cultures, two heritages, two skin colors, two lineages of trauma, two pathways to North America. Close your eyes and just breathe. Take a moment and imagine lying down on a cloud, perhaps one of the ones outside. Imagine the softness and calm of the moment. God places a blanket, a warm blanket over you for safety and comfort. All of the cares just melt away. Our tears are no longer. Our fears are all gone. What we have left is serenity. Imagine the sense of peace in your mind. God shields you and supports your whole being. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, ushmor tzeitenu uvoenu l'chaim u'l'shalom, me'ata ve'ad olam. Hashkivenu on page 42.
Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu. Hashkivenu l'shalom. V'ha'amidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms.
So before the service this evening, Barry Hartman, who is not only our outgoing vice president and incoming treasurer, he's also our AV guy on most Friday nights when he's here. He came up to me and he said, "Rabbi, are you going to be doing any speaking during the service, or is it okay if I just keep the screen, the projector on the screen, or the camera on the screen?" And I said, I sent you the cue sheet. He said, "Yeah, but last week, you just started talking a few times." And I said to him, I said, it's all like, unless it's my sermon, I stick to the sheet. It just comes to me. Well, this is one of those times. So Barry, I apologize. You might have noticed that it says Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu, which they sang, but in transliteration, it says Ehyeh. So we don't pronounce Yud He Vav He. This is not Yud He Vav He. If you remember, when Moses meets God for the first time, he says, at the burning bush, he says, "Who are you?" And God says, Ehyeh, I am what was and what will be. So that's what that means. So it's just another name for God in a way to translate a word that we don't translate. But going back to the service. The message of Passover remains as powerful as ever. Freedom is won not on the battlefield, but in the classroom and the home. Teach your children the history of freedom if you want them never to lose it. Please rise for the Amidah on page 46. Adonai sefaitai tiftach ufi agid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chastei Avot v'Imahot, Umevi Geula Livnei v'Nehem, Lima'an Shmo B'Ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh hakol atarav le'Hoshia, Morid hatal, Mechalkel chaim bechesed, Mechayeh hakol berachamim rabim, Somech noflim verofei cholim, Umatir asurim, Umekayem emunato, Lishenei afar, Michamocha ba'al gevurot, Umido melach, Melech meimit umechaye, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman atah lahachayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechaye hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, U'kadoshim b'chol yom yehallelu Selah. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. Please be seated. We continue with the singing of Shalom Rav on page 60.
Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amchai, Tasim, Tasim, Le'olam. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amchai, Tasim, Tasim, Le'olam. Ki atah u'melech adon lechol tasim, tasim le'olam, v'tov be'enecha levarech et amcha Yisrael b'chol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, tasim, tasim le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, tasim, tasim le'olam. Tasim, tasim le'olam.
We take a moment now to close our eyes, use our own words to meditate, to communicate with God. Yehi L'Ratzon, page 62.
Yehu l'ratzon imrefi. Yehu l'ratzon imrefi. V'higyon libi lefanecha. Adonai tzori v'koli. Oh, may the words of my mouth, the meditation of my heart be acceptable before you. Oh God, my rock and my redeemer. Oh, say shalom b'mromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Ve'al kol Yisrael. V'imru, v'imru. Amen.
Don't take the burdens of the world's problems upon yourself. Don't ignore them either. As Rabbi Tarfon, first century, put it, the work is not upon you to complete, but neither are you exempt from trying. Today I wash my hands and begin again. Today my body goes from one place to another. Today I undertake spiritual growth. Today I move from incomplete to complete again. O God, help me to refresh my intentions. O God, help me to strengthen my resolve. O God, help me to learn spirituality again. O God, help me become whole again. Blessed are you, Adonai, source of my strength and renewal. We continue in our service with the one prayer that we ask for healing, mind, body, or spirit. If there is a name of someone that you would like to add to our prayers of healing this Shabbat, please raise your hand. Yeah. Page 253, or you can listen to the words on the screen.
Avotenu mekor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishe berach imotenu mekor habracha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
This week, we read Parshat Korach, a portion marked for internal division, structural crisis, and an intense debate over communal worth. Korach, a prominent Levite, gathers 250 respected leaders of the community and launches a fierce coup against Moses and Aaron. He stands before them and he levels a powerful, highly sophisticated rhetorical challenge. Vayikalu al Moshe ve'al Haron, vayomru alehem, rav lechem, ki chol ha'eda kulam kedoshim. Uvtocham Adonai umadua, titnasu al kahal Adonai. They combined against Moses and Aaron and said to them, "You have gone too far. For all the community are holy, all of them, and God is in their midst. Why then do you raise yourselves above God's congregation?" On its surface, Korach's argument may come across as deeply noble, democratic, and liberating. You might think he's advocating for radical equality, telling Moses that no other human being should hold status above any other, because holiness belongs inherently to every individual in the camp. As the narrative unfolds, however, we see that Korach's words are somewhat of a smokescreen. He is not actually interested in elevating the collective. He's interested in elevating himself. His populist rhetoric masks a deeper personal ambition. He weaponizes the concept of universal holiness not to free the people, but to disrupt the fragile infrastructure of the community for his own gain. The tragic consequence of Korach's rebellion is that it tears the community apart, exposing the danger of leaders who speak of liberation but practice self-promotion. It reminds us that true equity requires more than high-sounding proclamations. It demands a deep, structural commitment to the actual welfare and freedom of every soul. This tension between noble declarations of freedom and the actual living reality of the marginalized brings us directly to the historical landscape we commemorate today, Juneteenth. On January 1st, 1863, President Abraham Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation, legally declaring that all enslaved people in Confederate territory were free. It was a monumental legal text, a shining declaration of universal human worth. Yet, for more than 2.5 years, that profound declaration remains nothing but a distant whisper for over 250,000 human beings in Texas. The legal fact of their freedom did not match the physical reality of their chains. The structure of their daily lives remained brutal, abusive, and captive because the forces of oppression deliberately intercepted and delayed the truth of their liberation. It was not until June 19, 1865, 2.5 years after Lincoln's pen hit the paper, that Major General Gordon Granger marched into Galveston, Texas with federal troops and read General Order Number 3. Only then, when the enforcement of that law arrived in the dust of Texas, was freedom actualized. Juneteenth is a sacred day of celebration, but it is also a sober reminder of a terrifying human vulnerability. Justice delayed is a form of ongoing cruelty, or to say it another way, justice delayed is justice denied. It reveals a world where the powerful can suppress information and access, keeping the vulnerable in the dark while maintaining systems of exploitation. Like the Israelites navigating the physical midbar, the desert, the freed people of Texas had to navigate a social wilderness where their status as free human beings was hidden. When we place Juneteenth alongside Parashat Korach, we see a critical lesson about how human systems treat the concept of liberty. Korach used holy language to manipulate his community, pretending to champion the holiness of all while seeking to preserve his own entitlement. Conversely, the slave owners of Texas used silence and geographic isolation to manipulate their system, pretending the world hadn't changed so they could extract 2 more cotton harvests from human beings who were legally free. Both scenarios represent a betrayal of what true inclusive community requires. When we treat the freedom or dignity of others as something that can be managed, delayed, or used as political leverage, we are walking in the footsteps of Korach's assembly. Our Torah values, the values that span from the youngest child to the oldest elder in our community, insist on an uncompromising, intellectually honest approach to human rights. We cannot be a community that settles for a righteous declaration on paper if we are not actively enforcing and protecting the righteousness on the ground. To bring back a common theme over the past few months, a Torah scroll is only kosher when every single letter is liberated and legible. If a letter is suppressed, the entire community's spiritual alignment is compromised. Following the catastrophic collapse of Korach's rebellion, the Torah offers a fascinating, quiet corrective to the community's fractured ego. God commands that a wooden staff from each of the 12 tribes be placed inside the tent of meeting, each inscribed with the leader's name. The next morning, the people walk in and find that Aaron's staff, representing the tribe of Levi, has miraculously transformed. The text notes that it did not just survive, it sprouted, blossomed, and produced ripe almonds. The Midrash focuses on the nature of this miracle. God did not choose a flash of fire or a booming voice to restore order. God chose the slow, organic process of growth, blossoming, and fruitfulness. Oh, and only about 12 hours, but it was still a slow process. It blossomed because it was anchored to a life-giving, divine source of truth, not through aggressive self-assertion or manipulative speech. This is the ultimate counter-narrative to both Korach's cynicism and the historical oppression of slavery. True freedom and true holy leadership are not about dominant power or weaponized rhetoric. They are about creating an environment where everyone has the space to bloom, to grow, and to bear the fruits of their own potential. Let me read that line again. True freedom is about creating an environment where everyone has the space to bloom, to grow, and to bear the fruits of their own potential. Juneteenth is precisely about the celebration of that delayed blooming. It is the moment where an entire people, systematically kept in a state of enforced winter, were finally allowed to step out into the sunlight of their own destiny, to cultivate their own families, and to build their own institutional almonds of culture, faith, and leadership. As we gather this Shabbat, bridging the ancient text of Korach with the American legacy of Juneteenth, our achrayut, our covenantal responsibility, becomes crystal clear. We cannot be passive citizens of the wilderness. We cannot listen to the empty promises of modern Korachs who seek to divide us, nor can we tolerate systems that intentionally delay or dilute the civil rights, historical truths, and systemic equity of our black brothers and sisters or of any minority. To honor Juneteenth as a Jewish community means committing ourselves to the hard, everyday work of structural justice, not just social justice. It means ensuring that the, quote, one law of dignity applies instantly without geographic or racial delay. It means looking into the eyes of every member of our diverse American family, validating their history, and working to dismantle the invisible walls of prejudice that still linger, even today, in our society. This summer, let us be like Aaron's staff, agents of unexpected life, equity, and renewal. Let us stand firmly against the politics of division and choose instead to draw a wide circle of protection, celebration, and uncompromised freedom around all who journey with us. Ken Yehi Ratzon, may this be God's will. I would like to now invite up the little ones. Little ones in age, not in stature. because that means that Bacha and a few other ladies will have to come up here. Please rise for the Aleinu on page 282.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
Please be seated. Beloved siblings, striving for justice, Shema. Listen closely at all times. My prayer for you is that you remember protest as a sacred act. Just as the mourner's Kaddish helps souls ascend to God, may our cries soothe those whose lives were prematurely extinguished. We continue to remember the hostages and all of those that were killed since October 7th, 2023. This week we remember Master Sergeant Alexander Fillin, 29 years old, a combat soldier with the 36th Division's headquarters from Haifa who was killed in combat in Israel. We also commemorate the death anniversaries, the yard sites of Anita Podell, Leon Swit, father of Joe Swit, Michael Posner, Samuel Falchuk, grandfather of Joel Falchuk, Alice Carol Dolane, sister-in-law of Stan Webman, Melvin Webman, brother of Stan Webman, Leona Kaplan, mother of Barbara Kaplan, Louise Adler, mother of Amy L. Schwartz, George Webman, brother of Stan Webman, Boris Jackerson, May Kane, mother of Arlene Goodman, Samuel Mannon, father of Susan Jerash, Lucille Schwartz, mother of Francine Askenaz, and Nathan Goldsand, father of Warren Goldsand. If there is a name that you'd like to add to our prayers of memory this Shabbat, please raise your hand. We join together and I invite you to please rise, turn to your prayer books to page 294 for Mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, bi'alma divrach irutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon v'yomechon, u'v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'vizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mivorach le'olam u'lomei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei d'kudusha b'rechu. Le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata. Tush b'chata v'nechemata. Da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min Shemaya. V'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Osei shalom b'mromav, hu ya'asei shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Zichronam livracha, may all their memories be for a blessing as we say together. Amen. Please be seated. I'd like to now invite our Vice President, outgoing Vice President, and incoming Vice President to read some announcements for us.
Shabbat Shalom. Services next Friday night, the 26th, Shabbat services will begin at 7 p.m., as will it be on July 3rd, July 10th, and Saturday morning on July 11th at 10:30 a.m. Interfaith dinners. We don't need any more for this year, but we are taking names for next year. So please see Jay Cohen. He's sitting right here, and he'd be more than happy to explain the process. This week's Onig is sponsored by Rita Hoffman. This week's Bima Flowers are sponsored by Naomi Berman in honor of her daughter Carol's birthday, Fred Posner in honor of Lorraine's birthday, and Fran Stern in honor of Alan's birthday. Happy birthday to all. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Herb? For those of you that are watching online who did not hear what Herb just said, if you are interested in learning Hebrew with him, the Hebrew 102 class starts at 2:30 on Monday, this coming Monday. I have 3 announcements to add. Number 1, my book will be in the gift shop on Wednesday. It's not going to be in the gift shop tonight because it's Shabbos. If you would like to buy the book, it's $20. The money goes to me, but it will go to the gift shop. So she will collect all the money and she will have the books, she's Jackie and Rochelle. I offered to give them a little bit of money and they're like, we're not doing this for making money. So I'd rather do it that way. That's the first announcement. And yes, I will sign it if you ask. Not that you need to have it signed by me, but if you want, I will. Secondly, this year for Yom Kippur, I know this is way in advance, but I want to give you lots of time to think about it. We are adjusting the schedule for Yom Kippur this year. We will have our regular 10 o'clock service. At 12:45-ish, we will have a lecture discussion, 2 options. One will be led by Harvey Taub, and one will be led, hopefully, by Alan Stern. That'll be about an hour-ish to an hour and 15 minutes, depending on the discussion. Our afternoon service will then be at 2:30. So everything's going to be pushed back a couple of hours. Our evening service at 7, our Ne'ilah service at 7 p.m. will actually end the day. So we'll actually be able to go to break fast when it's actually dark. Although by 8 o'clock, it probably still won't be dark. But it'll be much closer than 6 o'clock. We did this because people were, well, it doesn't matter why we did it. Just so you know, we're changing it. We're trying it this year, and we'll see how it goes. And the last announcement, and this is even further along, but I want to pass this message on. Hanukkah. I told you. The Tuesday night after, nope. What was the reason we couldn't do it on Monday? Joe, we changed the date to Tuesday because of you. There was a conflict on that day in the calendar. Pearl Harbor Day? Okay, so the day after Pearl Harbor Day, we will be having Donnie and Eric from Nefesh Mountain. They will be doing a concert here at the temple. There will be, of course, tickets to be sold. It will not be a free concert, and there will be an opportunity for you to purchase a higher level ticket if you'd like to have a meet and greet with Donnie and Eric. We're not sure if it's going to be before or afterwards, but this is if you don't know anything about Nefesh Mountain, I've played their music before. They are fantastic, and they happen to be going to be here in Florida, so they're stopping by specifically because they love my family, but also because they want to see all of you, and they're so fun. They're so fun and so lovely. More to come from that later, but I just wanted to make sure I told you that now. Thank you to the board for voting it to happen. What? Oh, I'm not going to. Okay. She'll probably kill me for saying this, but we will have a surprise guest singer at next week's service. It's not Carly, just in case you wanted to figure out who it is. And I did say she. We continue with Hamotzi on the screen. Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. We give thanks to God for bread. Our voices rise in song together as our joyful prayer is said. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Te'avon. Not bad. Our closing song, well, actually, before we do closing song, thank you to Dale and to Raul and to Susan and to Barry for all of your wonderful help this evening with the service. Of course, Juneteenth, so please sing with me. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. We'll walk hand in hand. We'll walk hand in hand. We'll walk hand in hand someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. We shall all be free. We shall all be free. We shall all be free someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. Robert Small's incredible flight to freedom began in 1862 when he was working as a wheelman aboard the Confederate steamer CSS Planter in Charleston, South Carolina. When the Planter's white crew took an unauthorized shore leave in the early hours of May 13th, Smalls and several accomplices sprang into action. After commandeering the ship, the slaves picked up their families at a rendezvous point and steamed into Charleston Harbor with Smalls at the helm, disguised in the captain's coat and hat. Smalls knew both the ship and the mine-infested harbor like the back of his hand, and he was able to give the proper signals to win safe passage by Fort Sumter. Once out of the Confederate guns' firing range, he poured on the speed and made a mad dash for the Union blockade. Arriving under the white flag of surrender, the crew of runaways joyously offered up their ship to first U.S. Navy vessel they encountered. "Good morning, sir," Smalls shouted to the astonished captain. "I have brought you some of the old United States guns, sir." Smalls and his fellow escapees were hailed as heroes in the North, and their courage and cunning were held up as evidence that blacks could make good soldiers. Smalls later helped recruit as many as 5,000 blacks for the Union war effort and served as the pilot and then later the captain of the Planter after it was refitted as a U.S. Navy vessel. After the war, he returned to South Carolina, bought his former master's house, and went on to serve several terms in the U.S. House of Representatives. Shabbat Shalom. See you with the Oneg.